Welcome to Investors for Growth. My name is Lily Patrescu and I'm a book publisher and personal branding coach. And I'm here with Harry Sardinas, my co-host. He's a public speaking coach, and a very special guest, Jon Bowles. He's an impact investor. And what's really special about the three of us is that we've recently started a company called Investors for Growth, where we help companies to grow through marketing solutions and optimizing solutions, branding and mentorship and access to funding. And what's really amazing about this partnership is that we bring amazing things to the table that you're going to discover today. And I'm so excited to have Jon here because he's invested in 26 companies and he's made a massive difference worldwide, and he's impacted the lives of thousands of people, and so have we in different ways. So welcome to Investors for Growth, and I'm so delighted to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation. I would like to demonstrate what a success it's been. It's a challenge to break into a new dimension of social investing. What you're really looking for is to forget a return on your capital. You're looking for to improving the quality of life for other people on the planet and making as big a difference and impact as you possibly can. This is proven to be a strategy that is returning fantastic results. In some of the companies we've grown globally, so it means that the clients are taking to these propositions, and now we want to form this company so that we can increase the number of companies that we attach to give them support.
That's fantastic, Jon. And then I want to ask you the first question.
Yeah.
What an impact investor really mean? Impact investor means that they change the world and they don't make money, they have little returns, or could be possible that by being an impact investor and making big difference, then this big difference you also can see it in the bank. At the end of the day, investors are looking how much return they can make, and what if impact investment would be the solution for the new generation to invest.
It's a good question, Harry, because what we've proven is that impact investing is the new frontier. What is happening now with the changing dynamics of climate change and so on, companies are becoming more purpose-driven. The staff are connecting with the reason why they work for that particular company, so they become more productive, they're happier. The company is growing clients. We've changed the frontier of social investing, and the results are there. It's staggering, but it's beyond expectation. To go from nothing to a global company is absolutely incredible. And it's not at the expense of the investors. The investors are making more money because the company is growing fast and they're enjoying the experience. They're never going to go anywhere else. This is where we need to be now to change the world.
So then, Jon, what's your message for these investors that said, I don't care about charity, I don't care about social responsibility, I only care about making money? What's your message to this type of investors?
Yes, well, you will get the money.
I think they're missing out,
in
right?
fact, we're still going to exceed your expectations on the return of the money. The fact you get a free prize that you change life, whether you value that or not is entirely up to you. But the people that you invest in, they're very grateful for this and they're showing the results. So everybody wins. That's the whole point of investing. It's not a one-way street. Everybody needs to win.
Now today we are talking about an important topic,
Yeah.
which is how can an investor select the right opportunity, the right investment? So if you can tell us about that. What are the steps for an investor to select the right opportunity?
An investor doesn't want to invest in a company that sells you a proposition that may not have a marketplace. They've become overhyped with their own proposition. We have to look into this in detail to see that it is a market fit. It is going to prove to be successful results that we're looking for. Sustainability is everything. Sustainability now is to demonstrate to the public, which are the consumers of the brand, the people that relate to the company, you have to demonstrate to them that you're making a difference. When you're making a difference, they follow you, you increase your customers, you become a more profitable company. Then the risk diminishes. Investors don't want to take those risks when they don't have to. This is the way forward.
What is the most important for you when you approach a company? The founder or the company by itself?
I think it's more to do with the founder. The founder has to demonstrate significant presence. He has to have the passion to deliver. He has to believe that that is his purpose in life, but then it becomes a purpose-driven company. And the challenge then is to break through into new marketplaces.
How can you identify that? The way that you spoke to them, the way
It's
that they present the thing? Do you think the public speaking has something to do with that? How confident, how passionate they are about it?
It's a combination of factors, but the first thing is to see what sacrifice that founder has made, because you'll find a lot of founders that they expect you to put the money up and take the risk, and they in effect grow a business, and if it fails it doesn't matter. Well, to the founders that we select it does matter, because they put their life savings in.
Exactly.
And they live and breathe that business 24/7. That's all they care about, is making sure that they tell the truth, they're transparent, and they lead in the marketplace. That's what, and we support them to do that in Investors for Growth. Everywhere around that circumference of things that you need to do to grow a business, we are there, we are present. From investment, from marketing, strategy, everything you need to know, we have on tap.
And what elements should an investor look at in terms of evaluating, oh, is this a good opportunity? I'm saying, does the company need to have a pitch deck? Does it need to have a video promo? What kind of elements does the company need to have so that an investor would choose the right opportunity?
Well, we have to have an inclusive array of information, so the investors can look at the element that they're attracted to mostly, whether it be financial forecasts, whether it be the possibility the company might run out of money, the possibility the company might have to tilt and change direction slightly depending on the customer demand. So we are always present, helping to support that company. There's no easy, simple solution. It's just hard work and responding to the marketplace, and that's exactly why we've profiled this company. That's what we're doing. It's proven results. I'm a co-investor in every company we bring to the table, and we select them, we endorse them, and we stand by them.
And what kind of elements would you say specifically would an investor need to look at? Would you say, in which order? For example, would you look at the pitch deck first? Would you look at the video promo first? What element would you look at? And what's important in those elements?
You have to have a belief that the product is something that's relevant in the marketplace, and you have to have a belief in the founder. Those two beliefs have to be in check. Don't just believe in the founder, but don't believe in the product. Don't believe in the product, but not believe in the founder. You have to do simultaneously, and then when you feel confident that they have the right attitude, the right mindset, and they're doing it for the right reasons, then you move in.
I agree 100%. There are companies that the founders are amazing, they are very commitment, they have put their life savings on it. It doesn't work. There is no market for it. The market is overcrowded, there is no competitive. There is other type of companies where the founder has an amazing product, that the product have a good way to go to the market, but you don't see this engagement with the founder. You see that the founder said, look, I know that I have a good product, but I'm not putting £1 from my pocket. I have a good product, and I'm gonna run with the company. So this is the two sides of things that investors nowadays, specifically for Investors for Growth, this is what we are not looking for. We're looking for that mix of both things. We're looking for you, for the founders to have an amazing product, that there is a good market, that they have a good space in the market, but also that they live and breathe this business. Once we find an amazing product and an amazing founder, I think, Jon, will you agree with me, is when we tick the box and I say we have a winner here, right?
Well, we changed the dimension of investing, because most investors think about the return on the money and the exit strategy. We're not interested in the exit strategy, because the exit strategy will take care of itself. You build a company so it's marketable. You've demonstrated that your product or your service is in a marketplace which has infinite scope. And you follow that through with a team. It's not just about the founder, it's the founder's ability to articulate the team, and this is where we support with them. So we bring in the right marketing people, we bring in the right strategy, we bring in the right financial investors that invest because they're passionate about what we're doing, not because they're just focused on the return. So it's a whole inclusive proposition. That's what we're looking at, where there's a lot of skill sets merged into one place. So the founder feels that really he's fully supported.
I'm now gonna ask Lily one question. Hey Lily, what do you think the branding brings to the table to this type of company? Do you think that a very clean pitch deck with the brand, a very clean video promo for the startup, do you think that does have an impact in the investors to actually become more attractive to the company? And why it's important to have that spotless?
It's a very good question. I think that having a very clear and consistent brand is very important, because the investor would look at that and say, okay, these people have considered the fact that they have to be consistent, because if you're consistent, then you are memorable, and if you are memorable, then you are someone that an investor would look at a bit later, right? Now, another question that I have actually for Jon is, in terms of the pitch deck, what kind of holes would you look at in the pitch deck in a way, that what kind of things would an investor need to look at and be aware of when they're looking at a pitch deck to find out whether they should invest or they shouldn't invest in a company? Because I know that you look at a lot of, the passion and everything like that. What about in a practical way, when you look at a pitch deck, what are the kind of elements that would pop out and would need to be
The first thing you look at is the potential for risk, that what you're being told isn't really supportive in terms of the business generation. For example, they might be using figures or statistics that are slightly out of date, or they're not drawn from the right source. So you look at the information, because you have to make a decision. You invest or you don't invest. Now that decision is based on knowledge, and if the knowledge is good, meaning that there's been good research and they've demonstrated the marketplace, everything synchronizes, it gives you a positive feeling about it, so you invest.
Exactly. Basically, Lily, the forecasts have to make sense from year 1 to year 5. The growth has to make sense. The market size have to make sense. So evaluating the pitch deck is just take this information that is presenting to us, and we create the assessment. I agree 100% with you on how accurate are the figure, how accurate are these projections. And it comes to knowledge, how realistic is the projection, the plan that the company has for growth. So this is key. I also think the market size is very important, and also how many players are in the market. And this is very interesting because could be both ways. We can have one approach, like some companies that are doing something unique that nobody else is doing, right? But the other interesting thing is when we find companies that they're already doing something similar that other ones. And we have to be very, very happy with this type of company, because there is what we call it a clue. If already there are two big companies doing the same thing, yes, and they are raising capital and both companies is growing, this is what I call it a clue. That means there is a space for somebody else. Like when we go to people go to a bookstore, say, wow, it's a lot of books about cooking. Well, that means there is a big demand for this type of book, right? So in the same thing, we have to look at the other way very carefully, because companies could be good if they have a unique idea, as well as they doing something and they just getting a market share. Because if they're getting a market share, that means that if they can grab a portion, still they can be successful.
Yeah, I think it's a question of being disruptive, Harry, because when you enter a marketplace as a new company, if other companies are well established, you have to really take on board, you need to do something unique.
The unique approach, right?
And a unique approach, so you can change a dimension. Now, if you can do that, you're entitled to a market share. If you just follow the competitors, you're just another business. And we don't invest in just another business. We invest in real businesses making a difference. They have to make a difference to society. And this is somewhere where you can be much more excited to join that impact investment proposition. That's what we really want to do.
What type of companies have you invested in and why, besides the passion and purpose?
Yeah, an example that you can give us, a purpose-driven company that has give you satisfaction in terms of return as well as the impact they're making in the world.
The common denominator with any company that I invest in is that it has to improve the quality of life for the staff because they feel more associated with the company, more passionate about the company. So it has to be staff-led for benefit, it has to be customer-led for the benefit, and it has to make profit at the same time. Now, that's not a competition there because you're all working in unison. Everybody is getting something from that business, and it's all proportionate. If it's all about the founder and it's all about money to the shareholder, it's out of date. It is definitely out of date. You've got to have the purpose right, you've got to have the culture right. The culture now for the future is to invest in businesses that are making a difference to the planet and to people that come after us. You know, that's what we must do.
And how do you weed out the entrepreneurs that investors shouldn't invest in?
Well, it's a personal choice, and I don't say that an investor shouldn't invest in anybody. That's a personal choice. What I say is if you have so many choices, why don't you pick the ones that really mean to thrive and to do something unique and something special? Because then it's an enjoyable experience instead of thinking constantly about the returns on the money and constantly about the exit strategy. In fact, with some companies, you get intoxicated by the fact that the market conditions are such that they're recognized as being leaders in that space. You're proud of being there and you don't actually want to leave. You know, you want to stay with it because it could be the next global phenomena, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, I think that the investors have to adapt to the new ways that companies are growing, the new ways that the world is today. And I think that clients more and more are looking and buying products and services for these type of companies, that they have social responsibility, that they have a very good policy in terms of sustainable growth, and even the staff, also the team. For growing an amazing company, you need the best people, and to attract these best people, if you have a company that is making a difference, that is impactful, that is just selling products and services, but at the same time creating a good solution for the world, I think that is a good way to attract the best clients, the best people to work with you, and you have bigger chance to grow the company and deliver the higher return for the investment.
Everybody has to adapt to change, Harry. There's always change. Now what we're trying to do is to force change for good. That's the real drive and passion. So yes, respond to change positively, but at the same time generate good. And it's intoxicating because when people can see the results, they want to join this. Suddenly they're not thinking about return on investment because they know that's secure. It's totally secure. The added prize that they're looking for is to think that they're part of making that difference. They feel good about that.
Yeah.
So you get the money and you feel good at the same time, you know? It's,
So
you get paid twice.
Why should an investor, for example, invest with us? As in, like, why should they invest in the companies that we select as being, you know, good to invest in? The ones that we are going to collaborate on to help them to find funding and as part of the Investors for Growth program.
I think the investors will get confidence that we've done our research work, and what we're presenting is based on fact because we've investigated and we feel very comfortable. They meet the yardsticks and the credentials that are so important to us. Reputation is everything. So the companies we select will win. We are absolutely convinced that they will win because we have all the resources to make sure that this doesn't fail. And that's important to me.
And how do you minimize risk for the investor?
Risk comes in at many particular points. In fact, some founders are actually worried about success because the onslaught of customers changes the way that they react to the business, so they have to be able to adapt. So our coaching, our confidence can assist them in breaking through into that dimension. That's really important. Otherwise, the success actually disrupts the company itself. It cannot respond, it's not articulate enough. So we make sure all the safety measures are in place and we can support that company.
Jon, can you expand a little bit more in a case study, for example, CSRA? What did it actually mean? What had been your journey there as an impact investor? And I think this case study is a very good case study for investors that get very good returns and do good for the planet at the same time, right?
Yeah, CSRA was a unique case where, in effect, they are reinforcing other companies. They're reinforcing them, so they're co-joining their brand, which speaks volumes, so that any company that has this brand associated with has already had a seal of approval that they're doing something worthwhile, not just trying to make money. They're indirectly investing in the planet, or they're investing in people. They're doing extraordinary things, so there's a new movement. CSRA is at the top of that game. It was a risk because they defined a new marketplace. But I really believe that marketplace was there. I got behind them, and now we're in 4 countries.
Yeah, and in the road to global brand, getting clients again and again worldwide, right?
There's global inquiries coming in which we didn't know existed. People are looking for us. What we've really found out is people looking to associate with this brand. We're not looking for customers, they're looking for us. Normally when you start a business, you're looking for customers. Now with 100 customers, with clients that have got between 10 and 50,000 employees, big brands, they're looking for us. That is absolutely incredible.
And why should an investor choose us and maybe not another company that does the same thing that we do?
It's a good question, because in some respects we could be seen as a niche market, but the future of impact investing is really the way forward. And I think everybody's going to adapt to it. There's well-established companies that just attract money to grow a business. Now, when they put the money forward with the investors, they have little contact with the investors. So that it is a risk of whether they will be sustainable and whether they will succeed. In our particular case, we stay with the company. We do all the strategy, we do the marketing, we do everything that they need, and we stay with them. That is the difference.
To make sure that the company grows.
Yeah.
We take them by the hand, right?
That's right. We support in every dimension that is necessary to develop a successful business.
Yeah, I agree 100%, because a founder is, they don't have the skill to grow a global company. It's completely different skill to get an extra top and to become a director or a founder or a CEO of the multi-million-pound company. Is completely different. And some of these companies, purpose-driven, with a new niche in the market, like for example CSRA, they have a big potential to become indeed global brands and a multi-million pound business overnight. And how the founders that we need the support and the expertise and the framework, or someone like us to guide him and coach them, how you jump from small company to a multi-million pound company, right?
Yeah, the founder doesn't need to stretch himself in the different skill sets. What he needs to do is to focus on the reason why he started the company in the first place, and focus on his strength. We will build a team around him to get the best from that founder. That's what we're going to do.
What I really like actually about our partnership for Investors for Growth is the fact that we bring 3 different types of skills together. You, the fact that you have already invested in 26 companies, and you've impacted so many lives, thousands of lives, and you've already managed to fundraise for different companies, right?
Yeah.
And Harry, with his public speaking coaching, what's really important about that is that a lot of founders are very good at what they do. They have great expertise, great passion, but perhaps they don't know how to share that message in a way that is impactful, with power, with confidence, with clarity, with charisma. And when you are able to do that, what happens is that you are more appealing to an investor. right? And then for me, what happens is that I'm very good at the messaging part, to say your message with clarity, with conciseness. It's really important to be super concise because investors don't have time. They need to have that messaging clearly written, clearly spelled out with the right branding, and in a way that is, that takes the least amount of their time, but at the same time gives them the information, the critical information that they need. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is the
100%.
key thing that we are having together,
The
this
founder
partnership.
is over familiar with his product and his passion. The investor or the customers or anybody looking at that company wants a different set of information. So the founder can be the figurehead and the leader, but in terms of what the company stands for, its purpose, and what the outcomes are likely to be if you support the company, that has to be defined by other people that are specialists in their own segment. A strong founder cannot do these things. He's focused on what the product is or the service.
Yeah.
It needs a range of people with different skill sets.
I agree with you 100%, John. I think the founder should be the ambassador of the product. And it's very important what we were discussing the last week, how important is not only the brand of the company itself, but also the personal brand of the founder, something that is key to be the voice of that company, to be the ambassador of that company.
I think what's interesting about this, Harry, it's not conceptual. We're not presenting something that we believe this is what the future looks like. What
We're actually doing it.
We're doing it, and we're talking about what has happened, what is the action and what is the outcome. So the actions we've taken to date have proved to be successful, and the outcomes are bearing fruit. So we want to replicate this, and we want to get better at it all the time. But we have the data. We've invested in companies, and we know what to do.
I think one of the key things as well is being part of the inner circle, because for example, when you invest in a company that we have selected together, what happens is that it's almost like you become part of the inner circle, because you already have access to, please correct me if I'm wrong, 19,000 investors and 16,000 influencers, and we also have access to a database of different people, startups, and also just from last year in March, we had a reach of 1 million people in Facebook, and with more funding, we can have a much bigger reach. So we have this inner circle that an investor and also startups can be part of, and through being part of that inner circle, there's a lot of ways to collaborate, right? So
There's ways to collaborate, but we have proven resource. For example, if we need additional tech support, we know where to get it at the right time at the right price. If we need marketing support, we know which direction to take, whether it be through social media or other forms of marketing, on lead generation and so on. So we have all this available. We also have a database of potential customers where we have what they call product fit, so that there's no point in marketing to everybody when not everybody's going to be a customer. So we start to understand customer movement, what they're looking for, so we can articulate the right product fit. So we have a lot of different dimensions that are going to improve the performance of the company and make sure it's a success.
Yes, and I think also as we are growing, as more companies come on board, as more investors come on board, what will happen is that we're going to create this massive ecosystem where, let's say, the existing companies are going to benefit from the arrival of the new ones, because there will be certain collaborations and maybe client sharing or affiliates
we
created.
have a transparent view of the ecosystem, so that we act fairly, transparently and openly, so the investors can get confidence that there isn't any hidden agenda. All information is accessible, so there is nothing out of reach. We don't sell stories to the investors that they want to listen to. We tell them the truth. If we have a problem, we tell them what the problem is, and we tell them what the solution is. In a lot of cases, we can see a problem ahead of it happening, or a potential problem, and we know how to mitigate it. Sometimes the investor can add something to the company. So they need the opportunity to discuss with you whether they could add any value, and if so, how it would be done. That is an option for them to participate. It's their money that we're working with, and they should have that opportunity. Once they've invested, They need the confidence that are in safe hands, and whatever it takes for that journey, that's what we're going to do.
Another thing that's quite exciting is that, for example, Harry and I, we organize large events and small events, small luxury events as well, where we can bring the founders, we can bring the investors, and through that, what happens is that there's a massive opportunity for the investors and for the founders to find collaboration opportunities and also to enhance their personal brand. And through expanding their personal brand, what happens is that they can attract even more investment, for the founders, and then the investors can find even more opportunities to invest. And through that, they can take everything they're doing to an exponential level through being part of this ecosystem and this inner circle that we're creating.
We want
in a
to
way.
exceed the expectations of everybody, because everybody has a vision when they come to this proposition of growth and building a company. They have a vision. It needs to be based on we can exceed those expectations by the right type of collaboration, the right type of fit at the right time to endorse and support the founders to get them where they need to be, so they don't carry the whole weight of trying to grow the company. We grow that company collectively.
You also have invested in a company that does media, and I think that's a massive opportunity for the other companies as well to be featured in the media, because when you are featured in the media, for example, let's say you're featured in the media for your social responsibility, you're featured in the media for the different things that you're doing good for the world, and you also have a successful company. What happens is that you can leverage that so much, because you get featured in the media, your brand expands, you can potentially get a lot more clients, you can get viral marketing, you can get free publicity, free advertising, a lot more clients, and expand your bottom line as well, which is really a win-win situation.
It is, because we're collecting information on what customers do, how much interest they show in a product. We look at the consumer experience so that they can engage effectively and get what they want. Everybody knows about shopping basket fatigue, where people look at a product and a service and they want to proceed, but they drop out along the way.
Yeah.
Why do they drop out? Because it's too awkward to actually find and close a position where they engage. It's too complicated. So we take out all the complications to make it simple and effective. And so there's many little small elements of running a business which is really important to be looking out for, and that's what we do.
Okay, that's fantastic. So thank you so much, Jon.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
To have you, and then Lily as well. I think.
Well, we would like to invite you to register on our website at investorsforgrowth.com, so that you too can become one of the investors or one of the startups that is looking for investment, so we can take you to the next level.
Yeah, if you have a company that is driven purpose, that you believe that your product and service not only will benefit and add value to the people's life, but also make something amazing for the planet, we are more than happy to have a look and review your proposal and put a team together to grow your company, and to also, if you're part of our investor, to make you greatest return, as well as do something good for the planet. Right, Jon?
Correct, Harry. Let's go for it. Come on.
Bye, everyone.